some kind of sun-kissed you something.
Good evening, relationship flow. Good evening. Good evening. We are live and ready to come to you on this conversation that we have planned for this evening. Dr. Carissa, how you doing?
I'm good, Mary. How are you?
Life is special, but I'm good.
Okay.
You gotta go with what the flavor is of the day.
That's right.
We have our resident guest, LaJoya Camp.
Hi,
She knew who she
everyone.
was. She was like, let me start waving now because she's talking about me. And then we have our guest that has been in the comments, keeping things live and jiggy. And now he's on the panel with us because he said he knows some stuff about this topic right here. Welcome, DJ Spin Cycle.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I don't know, somebody's background got people talking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
So we are coming into this conversation this week, talking about the behaviors of cheating, and hey April, thanks for joining us. The behaviors of cheating, like why people cheat, why they stay, why they don't leave, but really want to peel back the layers and prepared for this conversation to take a couple weeks, because not necessarily the battle of the sexes, because of course we promote love and wellness and relationship flow, but realizing that this conversation could go a whole bunch of different ways. And we're ready, as Dr. Carissa and I prepared for this today. We're ready for this to go as many directions as necessary. And Camp was ready to jump in, and Spin Cycle was like, let's get it. Like, let's get it. We may have some more people jumping in on a panel with us, but for now, what's in your cup? What we sipping on? Because, that sets the tone for our conversation most times.
I think Latoya should go first because her cup was introduced first into this dynamic.
Okay, and it's LaJoya, just so
Oh,
she
I
gave you
do
a
apologize.
compliment.
My
Don't
glasses are
mess
foggy.
up.
LaJoya, do apologize.
Okay, so this is some sun-kissed, something like kid like I made. It's in a red cup. I don't know. No alcohol. No spritzer. None of that.
In a red cup.
And Red Cup
Yeah, a
Chronicles.
red cup. You use it for measurement. Each line means something.
So
Only the
we
teacher
have
and her.
proof that you're a professional alkie, or there's some sort of validity that we might want to infer that's in your cup, because I don't know that. I just know it's a red cup that usually contains stuff to make people happy.
Well, all you need to know is that I am a chemist, my own chemist. I went to school for chemistry in my undergrad, so I know how to mix a couple of things together. That means for me, but I'm just
Great. So what's in
Mm-mm.
my cup
Uh-huh.
is
I'm ready.
H2O. Let's
And
see.
that's the ice cubes.
that's funny.
It's
Hi, Shirley.
H2O is water. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
No, Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hi, Jen.
I'm super late. I'm sorry. I'm literally just checking my email and I seen the link pop up. I thought it was at 8.
It's 8. Oh, not the early time. I got you.
Huh?
Jen, we don't want to let Spin Cycle off the hook and saying what's in his cup. Hey, Charlotte, thanks for joining us. He was talking about he had some water, so I'm like, that has to be the ice cubes.
Mm-hmm.
No. So basically what I do is I have this formula that's helping me to lose weight and keep energy.
Okay.
And it's water, half a teaspoon of allspice, frozen ginger shaved to about 8 ounces,
Mm-hmm.
and a tablespoon of honey.
Okay.
That's it.
Drop with some cayenne. Add some cayenne.
Yes.
Cayenne pepper.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Cayenne pepper.
Yes.
Cayenne pepper it is.
I'm not Geechee. I'm an aristocratic Negro. So the Geechee side did that. Because when you say cayenne pepper, all I can remember is the Geechee side of my family having cayenne pepper all over the place.
Yes, the cayenne pepper. You need that. That helps with the honey and some lemon. But you already got your mix going on, so.
And it's
Well,
also an aphrodisiac when you put cayenne and the honey together.
you should have led with that. You really should have. I wouldn't have presented any kind of resistance had you led with that.
So, Jen, what you got in your cup?
Nothing. I actually have 2 friends coming over to bring some wine.
Okay.
No, some beer or wine, whatever.
Okay. And I see somebody got some Mary Jane going on in their life.
Who, me?
No. I'm not saying. I said somebody, because it says Facebook user in the comments, so I can't see who it actually is. But I could guess who it probably is. I could definitely guess who it probably is. So, Doc, what you got in your cup?
I have a strawberry prickly pear margarita.
Oh,
that I made myself.
Oh,
that looks good.
I might have to go off camera for a second so I can meet the Doc halfway.
Where do you stay at?
Right?
Let me call Captain Kirk so I can get Star Trek over here real quick.
Yeah, because you got to come down some highways and pay some tolls to be able to do all of that. I am actually on the hydration side. I got the pretty glass as usual, but it's really H2O.
Okay.
But I will go off camera if I need to go get something a little bit more spicy that's already mixed in the fridge.
Okay.
Did you say that was apple vodka?
Yep, that's exactly what I said. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we're talking behaviors of cheating. Why people cheat? What are the things? What are the signs? Why they stay? Why they leave? And what happens when it happens multiple times? So, where you guys want to start with this conversation?
I think we can start with busting some myths.
Okay.
About cheating.
Okay.
The greatest one is that only men do it.
Ha!
Nope.
When statistics show that women are really catching up with men on this front.
Right.
Or they've been doing it, they're just better at it, so they never got caught as much.
And they talk about it if they're able to do a anonymous survey.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because they don't, we still can't give up the cards of who does it and who doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But this definitely comes into conversations that Doc and I deal with in the therapy room, because people are trying to figure out, how did my relationship get to one that cheating lives in there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh.
Camp, what you got?
When you just said that, I just keep thinking women cheat more than men. Period.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Jen, you do have a mute button if you need it.
Oh, where is it?
It's on the bottom of your screen, I believe. There we go.
I just think women are more I think women are better at it because
that's what Jen said.
Some women do talk, but some women do know how to be quiet. Like women okay, I know tons of mistresses and they can play their part. You got some that won't play their part, but the ones who can play their part, even your mistress or not, it's just I don't know. In my life, I just seen women who know how to be quiet.
Mm-hmm. So that's true. And another myth is that women cheat for emotional fulfillment.
Yeah, that's not true.
Not always so.
That's not true at all.
Not always so. There are plenty of women who just like sex and like to have sex with different people.
Right.
And happen
And in
to
random places.
and happen to get into a relationship with someone they like more than others,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
and this person is not really open to that lifestyle, so they still have to fulfill their needs, but they want to keep who they have.
Right.
That's so true. Oh gosh, I
Because it
need a
Well,
might be
drink right
benefits
now.
with the
okay.
person who they have, like the house, the vacations, some
The debit card.
stability, some levels of stability. So it's like, it's different reasons on why they want the multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
I
Sometimes
think
it's
it
about
is
cutting
because
costs.
Would you say, Camp?
I said I think sometimes it's about cutting costs too.
Oh, talk
And
about that.
in terms of living expenses. Sometimes it doesn't start off as cheating. Sometimes adults get together, whether they had kids or not, and say we can make this work. Group economics. We can stack some money, get a business. We got the same mind. We like minded. Sometimes it just pop off like this.
Mm-hmm.
or um I think it's just being in the company of different people. Just the enjoyment of being in the company of like different people. Not to say that you want to be in a relationship with them, but just enjoying like different company.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That makes sense.
I got 63 cents. Can
What's
I
just give
spend
me a
some?
64 cent.
Okay. 64. Right, right. I don't know a song that has 64 cents, but I remember KRS One saying 63 cents. Joking
Okay.
with you. Um, as a person who attracted married women,
Mm.
like,
Ooh.
yeah, like raindrops
Mm.
on water.
Okay.
It's
I
that
couldn't get
hat
a,
and that deep voice.
I guess so. I couldn't get a single woman for nothing. Married
Mm.
Mm.
women, they were like, "Hey, what you doing?"
Interesting.
And one of the things that they always had in common was activities that they could do with a man that they would rather do with their husband, but their husband don't want to do.
Mm.
For example, e.g., going shopping to pick out an outfit. From my experience of what I've been told, men have about a good 15-minute time limit when it comes to shopping with women. It's like they got a minute plan. It's like,
Right.
what you mean you got to look at a third pair of shoes? What you mean you got to compare quality at a store in another mall? What you mean you got to go somewhere else now that you got the shoe, that you got to go get a perfume that matches the shoe? That one right there blows man's mind.
Mm.
And so, me, I understand it. Like if you got some slut boots on, right? You need a slut fragrance,
Uh-huh.
That's funny.
Oh gosh.
right? Um, one of the reasons why I was so accommodating, or as one woman put it, amenable, is because in my family, I saw my grandfather. He would leave the house, and my grandmother would say, "Oh, I forgot something." He'd turn around, no argument, no frowny face, go back to the house. There would be sometimes he go back to the house 3 times. Then we get to the mall,
Wow.
and we're at the mall all day, in and out of stores. I'm carrying bags, and although I'm one of 3 grandchildren, I happen to be the most responsible grandchild. So I always ended up at these things. So for me, it was just like, oh, okay, I understand. You want to have some time, you want to have some comfort. Let me not pester you, because usually in the end, I get a meal out of it or something, or a really good
Mm.
happy meal.
You got excited about that Happy Meal.
Yeah, right.
Oh, no.
Hmm. Hey, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Hey,
Hey, I apologize.
Chad.
Hey, y'all. I apologize.
So,
Something
Chad,
wrong with my connection over here. I
It's
don't know if y'all can
okay.
hear me or not.
We can hear
We can
you.
hear you.
Do I sound choppy to y'all?
No.
yes.
No, you
No,
sound deep voice man.
Nah, this whole joint was
You all
choppy.
must be joking.
For you, it's choppy.
Yeah, it is
Yeah,
choppy.
for me, it's choppy too.
Hmm.
Oh,
All right, let me
okay.
come
Well,
out
we
of
hear
this.
you guys fine. I'm not sure what's
I'm
going
gonna come
on.
out. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna join again. Let me just come out.
Okay.
Okay.
So I
So
also
go ahead,
go ahead.
Jet. Go ahead.
I wanted to
So,
further add to Dr. Carissa's point, where sometimes some women need some variety dick. They want entertaining. Can I say dick on? Yeah, that's not a swear. That's why I won't be breaking any FCC rules. So they want
It's
entertainment
grown
dick.
folks sipping chat.
Great, great, great. So, they want entertaining dick because usually the husband dick comes in, lays on top, missionary or doggy style, and it's like 50 seconds. I'm sorry, not that fast, but it's either like 2 minutes or 50 strokes, whichever one comes first. And it doesn't come with enough dialogue for them because as women who marry younger get older, they need a little bit more substance in their
Mm-hmm.
copulation activities.
You got big words going on.
Yeah.
You started with the
Okay.
word small word dick, and then you went all the way to
Yeah.
copulation.
Let's say I graduated from high school and I understand what you're saying.
Right. I do. I get it.
I think women just really, I think women are like men, if not just better at it. Like women enjoy the company of several different men, just like men like the company of several different women, like different personalities, all of that. I think women does the same. Every I guess sexual session is different. Like it is literally different. You are with it's a totally different conversation. It's a totally different being. Your energy is totally different, and
mhm.
I don't think it's anything wrong with it. In fact, I think it's great. It's excellent because why are you tied down to one person? Especially if, I mean, they always say, I guess men always cheat. I mean, my aunt would say that. My aunt would say that, like, men always cheat. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Until I got older and I'm like, why does this keep happening? And like, why do I feel like stifled? And why am I not really being myself? Like, I think a lot of women are like that. They just don't want the judgment. Um,
Mhm.
Especially in the black community, you can't like you got to hold so many damn secrets. It's ridiculous. Like you really don't get
Okay.
to be who you really, really are and who you want to be without judgment and without feeling like, oh, I'm not a mom, I'm not a woman, it's not respectable, all of that. But no, it's a lot of women who are just like just like men. We're just
But
better. I feel like we're better at it because we're more responsible. Like we're not
Mhm.
trying to tear up the household. We're not trying to tear up the family. We're not trying to move in with them and all that. I just want a good night. Give me a couple of good hours, some good conversation, and that's it. Or even a friendship for years. It doesn't matter. Like I just but it's just more responsible. But I don't think it's anything wrong with it if everybody knows, like if you're honest.
Mhm.
I think to
that's the best thing.
Jen's point, when she talks about women are better at it, I don't, and she talks about they don't want to destroy the household or the community. I don't think that men say, hey, let me go out and intentionally mess up my thing right here. I just think that, no, seriously, I just think that because of our respective environment, we learn different processes. Women say, well, let me be logical about this. Let me be calculating.
Yes.
When is my husband going to have the least amount of attention as to where I am and what I'm doing?
Really?
And how can I make every single thing past that point legitimate?
Oh
So,
wow.
You
yeah,
really thought that all the way out.
Yes, that sounds
Mhm.
very
Yeah.
But I
well,
think it's true though, because if you if a woman
It
is
is.
out there doing that, when she is questioned, she has the stories down pat. You believe her because everything makes sense. All the receipts are in order.
right.
Where a lot of times
And you're
men
not
don't they
falling
don't
off your
they aren't
plan.
that careful.
Right. But
Mm-hmm.
why?
because it's haphazard. So when men get the call to have recreational, I didn't even say anything yet. when men get to
Recreational
go
activity.
for recreational sex, it's not they're not ready for it. So it's like, oh, okay, let me go take this now. So it's always the women initiating when this is going to happen as to a specific time. It's not that men don't say, hey, I need to be seen. You know what I mean? But
I
women
need
are,
to be seen.
my bad, is that too Philly?
No, it sounds like about right. It's just weird.
Mhm.
It's just weird hearing like what goes on in you guys' mind. Not weird, but it's just like it's a real reality check. Like what goes on in your mind when you do what you do.
Mhm.
Like what are you thinking about at that moment in time? Like women, we're thinking about, all right, I have to be back home to get the kids by 4, or I have to do this. Like it's just a whole lot of, and that's why we basically schedule stuff, and we just don't. You can't just roll up saying, "Hey, I want to see." Look, it's 5:45. Can I see you at 6 p.m.? No. Like, are you crazy? I need to get out my calendar, and we gotta schedule some stuff in because I can't just be like you. Just can't. My time is too
Yes, yes,
valuable
women.
to just be
Willy nilly with it.
like, yeah, like willy nilly. Like, oh no.
And
Not
so
saying that I don't want to.
Jen speaks to
I
another
don't.
point. Men
Yeah.
don't have that kind of structure in their lives. Well, majority of the men, whereas they say, "Oh, I gotta have the dishes washed and food ready by 4:30. I gotta be at the daycare to pick the kid up no later than 6:15. Otherwise, I get hit with the late fee." No, their mind is Saturday. I'm going to meet at Shorty's in Conshohocken with the guys to go get the part for my car. See, there's work, there's basketball. Um, yeah.
It's always basketball. Okay.
Oh yeah, I gotta find a way to get that
It ain't
paint.
always basketball. As I'm going to the grocery
Okay.
store to get some Snickers, and
That takes
I'll be
5
back.
hours.
Yeah, it take 5 hours. Yes.
Golly, I
Mhm.
don't get it. So,
Yeah, that 5 hours. They try and cultivate the next
They
recreational sex.
no, I'm saying they'll say I'm going to the corner store. Well, I'm going to the store. They may not have corner stores where they live at, and
Yeah.
5 hours later they coming back from the store without anything in their hand.
Okay,
Mhm.
I can
exactly.
personally attest to that because I'm a socialite, and when I get out the house, I live out here in Plymouth County, and there's 5 Walmarts. All of them are like 17 miles away. So when I get there, it's like, oh, I'm going to have some fun.
Hmm.
Who's going to talk to me? Let me make sure I wear the best outfit so that somebody
Oh
talks to
my
me.
gosh.
What's the light
Attention,
going on?
whore. Look, he's trying to be seen.
Attention whore trying to grab it,
Little
right?
social butterfly. Okay, we see you.
Nothing wrong with that. But with the whole planning thing, I just think that's too much. What's the point of cheating?
Mm-hmm.
I can't understand
I
you, can't.
You can't understand. Hold on. You can't understand me?
I can hear you, but it's muffled.
Okay, can you hear me now?
That's
Mm-hmm.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, I was saying, what's the point of cheating if you have to do all that planning? You might as well stay your ass home. Is it worth it?
Because your home might not
Okay,
be all right.
okay, so the kind of I get you, but the kind of person I am, I I plan like I've been meal planning for over 10 years, right? So I already know what the kids are eating, what's being done. If I gotta do it, I might as well just Netflix and chill by myself at the house. Like if I'm gonna go, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get up and go. I'm gonna get up and do it. I'm grown. Like what's the? I don't know. Like you, if that's what you want to do, you got to be open and honest about it. Not saying I'm
Okay.
But
condoning cheating. What I am saying is, if I'm gonna do something like I said, I do the opposite. I don't have no. I don't turn my phone over. I don't have a code. It's sitting right there. Like you got to do the opposite.
yeah, that's what I don't do.
People
Like
looking for the
you
parent.
don't avoid the phone thing, and
Like
because it's too
I don't
obvious.
even have right. I answer the phone. I don't have a code on it, and everybody in the house knows the code, even the kids. So they look through pictures. They look through like I don't know. I
What
feel
they
like
doing?
sometimes
What?
if you're
Mm.
open, I feel like sometimes if you're an open book, who's looking for something? I'm just saying.
But being an open book can kind of be a camouflage too, because you
It
could
could
be an
be.
open book and have a second phone that is only pulled out once you get into the car.
Oh, I had 3 phones
Oh
before. I
God.
get it. I wasn't cheating, but I've had 3 phones, and people be like, I haven't seen that phone before because I only take that phone out with certain companies. It is not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I get it. I don't know. If you don't do it, do it. What is it worth though? Like you have to measure the worthiness of the person you're trying to cheat with. Because if
Right.
they're not worth it, you might need to go get somebody else that's better to cheat. If you're gonna do it, go all the way out. I'm not saying I'm condoning cheating. I'm just saying like it's too many nuances.
So, LaJoya, let me ask you this because your situation is kind of unique, and I've experienced women who are brazen like you, possibly even
I'm
more
grown.
flagrant. So, I guess that
So
financially,
wow.
if things were to fall apart, you would be able to manage all of it. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yes, because the way I taught myself how to believe, if I cannot handle whether I'm married or got a partner or not, if I can't handle all the bills and my lifestyle by myself, then I can't afford it, whether I'm with somebody or not.
And now we know why you're just like, no, nah.
That's true.
Correct.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think it's just like on a relation. It's on everybody is different. Like everybody handles it different. Like
Mm-hmm.
some people, they literally cannot handle. They can do it. They just can't handle it done in return. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can't
Absolutely.
handle it being done to them, but they can do it. And not saying I would like to just hide my life and all of that, but if I'm doing what I'm doing 9 times out of 10 as a male, you're not going to, that's not going to sit right with you. It's not. It's not. But you can do it to me all day, every day. But if you
Right.
think, if you had the slightest thought that it was being done to you, you would have a nervous breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
You would throw my stuff out the window, probably.
Or smash the windows out your car, like
Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I mean, with every situation is different. You might be in a position to be an open book, but especially like if your kids are young and stuff like that, it just depends. If your kids are older, all of that gets taken into consideration.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
So it does. I have a teenager, a preteen, and a toddler. So for me,
Oh God,
yes.
yeah, that's
So
like
for
three
me,
different stages.
I know it is. But for me, I love it. I think my business is my business. Like the kids are in it, but it's not like
That's
that.
how I
I
feel.
don't
My business
involve
is
my
my
kids
business.
but I don't have the type of time to be going around cheating because cheating turns into another relationship. Why am I cheating? I don't want another relationship. I already
Not
have
all the time,
true, not all the
Yeah.
time. But dudes
Yeah.
and
that
it's
be
not
cool,
necessary. I don't think.
they be like,
I don't.
call me. No, this is it.
I think not all is getting in a relationship. Just because you like are in the company of somebody else, don't mean you want to get in a relationship with
No, no,
them.
no. That's not what I'm saying. You don't want to get in a relationship, but sometimes, for example, I had an uncle who didn't know that he was a boyfriend for like months. Like sometimes it just no, no, no. It's not about what people say. It's about what they do. The characteristics of relationship. We cheating, but you want to take me out to lunch. No, just slide me a gift card underneath the door. No.
So what's some of those characteristics, Camp?
Oh, every time that person calls, you answer. And even with your boys, you be like, oh, hold on. Even if it's like a booty call per se, whatever, the fact that you take the time away from the people you normally do for somebody you just met, or you could have known them for 20 years, but it's on a different level now. It's not
Right.
like we're friends, like, oh, we trying something different. So you got to invest more time. Like if I got to invest all this time shooting, I could do better by investing this time putting in the relationship I already have, or just get rid of the person I'm with because they're not for me. Like that person I'm cheating with may be for me. So I'm just saying, if you're gonna invest, just really think about. I'd rather show up for myself versus show up for somebody I'm messing with or the person I'm in a relationship with. Sometimes it's just not a either way. It's just not there.
Well, it depends on what the purpose is.
It does.
Right.
Why
Yes.
are you doing this?
Right.
If
And
it's
that
just for
goes
sexual
into
fulfillment, then you might have 3 or 4 different people that's one and done.
Right. But I know people who
in a period
just
of time.
There's no reason. They just they're just having fun. It's just something to do.
STD. I have a friend that refers to it as STD. That's the code for something to do. So we would go out and we would be in certain places, and she would give me the head nod, be like, "That's the STD right there," and I would know that that's just something to do. So when that person walked up, let me fall back because y'all might be organizing what's gonna happen after we finish our girl time hanging out. So
But
that
let
was
me
the
ask
code
you
word.
this. What if you are poly? Like, what if you just do not believe in being with one person, and it has nothing to do? What?
And it's unfortunate because, as you said earlier, Jen, if you tell somebody that 9 times out of 10
They are
they're
not
going to
going to
label
understand. Yep.
they're not going to understand. They're not going to want a relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because they're
so
automatically
then
going to
it limits.
assume. They're automatically going to assume you just want to, like, you're a serial cheater. You just want to cheat, but no.
But that's not cheating. That's a lifestyle.
Exactly.
Right.
But if it's a woman, they're going to just say you a hoe.
Exactly.
You just a hoe. That's all.
Tell me about it.
Opportunity.
But if it's a lifestyle that you have bought into and you have people who consent to how that lifestyle functions, all of that labeling stuff is just that their mind is not open enough to understand that this is your lifestyle. If they are in the mindset of living life outside of poly, then it's like they only see things the way that they see things, and it might be guided by their values, their religious preferences and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
That is a social construct that has nothing to do with your level of intimacy. Your lifestyle is your lifestyle.
And that is what I was telling Dr. Carissa before. Like, I think a lot more people are, but they're not. They don't know it. They don't understand it, and they'll say, oh no, they're just a cheater. Like, they're just a cheater. When not necessarily, because it's different. Like, you wouldn't really know it unless you read up on it and realize, like, it's like it literally is a lifestyle, and you're not the only one. Like, you're not the only one. Just because I saw you yesterday does not mean I don't love my husband, or I don't love this unit that I created, and all of that. That's not what it means.
But in that life, go ahead, Spin Cycle.
I was going to say there was a study put up last week in a group that I'm in. I'm only there for educational purposes,
Of course, that's the disclaimer, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's just educational purposes because I'm matriculating, and
I can't.
I'm gonna have to go off camera and get something to drink.
I know mine is almost done. I gotta fill her up ultra because he's about to say something.
Because he's about to go there. It's 8:30. It's perfect. It's his perfect timing that he do. He usually wait 30 minutes, so we good. Go ahead.
So that basically, in short, the study said that the average Black woman requires 5 men to fully satisfy her. And 2 of it was physical, and 3 of it was emotional.
Wow, yes. Who did that study?
Yes, honey. Yes,
I've heard that for years.
Who did that study?
I've never heard that.
Some university I never heard of.
He made it up. Look,
I do think it makes sense because that's why.
Chad, you said something. What happened?
What? I was listening.
I said
look, Chad ain't said nothing all day. Let Chad speak. What are you talking about?
He signed in for that.
You might also be Star Buck Wild.
Well, I just think if y'all remember watching Why Did I Get Married, and at the end of the movie they talk about the 80-20 rule. Like, you got 80%, like that's doing real good. Sometimes 50-50. 70-30, whatever, but they were saying the 80-20 rule. If that's your relationship, then, like, don't rock the boat. But then it's like, You know how people say, "Oh, he completes me. Oh, she completes me." I mean, that's great, but you should be complete yourself first. But that's why
Right.
about
Yeah.
when people get married 4 and 5 times, no judgment. I'm just saying because
Mhm.
people grow, people evolve, so there's different people for them at different times, or even at the same time.
Yep.
But I
Mhm.
don't think it makes
Mhm.
sense because one person can't be everything and all because some
Exactly.
people only have
Mhm.
so much capacity. You have to know the person that you're with, your partner or friend, whatever. You have to know their capacity, and sometimes the capacity is only in the pocket. Some people, their capacity is very
And
sensual.
sometimes the capacity wears off and you need new capacity.
Exactly.
Right.
You need
And
new
as you
capacity
grow
on Monday and
together,
another
like
one on
you grow
Friday.
in different ways. You grow in different ways. So every 3 to 5 years, what your capacity is and what your interest is going to change. And your partner may not be always open to what it is that you need.
Yes.
So you're saying
Yeah,
Yes.
so as
our body sheds, well, our body rejuvenates every 7 years. So maybe you're saying maybe we should think about rejuvenating our partner every
Yes.
7 years.
Yes, but then it's a mindset because like we dipped into talking about poly for a minute, and I'm sure that people who were probably listening or following the conversation was like, okay, I thought they was talking about cheating, how they get the poly. So and then they just disconnected because they hear a certain word. But also when you hear the word cheating, you automatically think sex, and cheating becomes way before the actual act of sexual activity.
Yes.
Well, and is there a way somebody can talk to this, anybody, that a lifestyle doesn't always equal sexuality?
yeah, I can do that.
Oh, okay.
Because I
Before you
remember
do that, can I ask a question? Can you
yeah,
share that article that you just referenced from the other people?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
I
because
don't have
somebody's
it
asking
right now.
for it in the comment. When after we're done.
Yeah, it's in one of my
I just have to
it's in one
refill
of
my
my
drink.
fictitious profiles.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand one of them.
Oops.
We just need the article. No, we
So
just need
I
the
have
article. But I wanted to ask you that before I forgot. Go ahead.
Sure.
a
Um, what I was going to say with regards to LaJoya's comment, I apologize. Um, a lot of the relationships that women have are financial. They end up being financial. So uh, there is no emotional support. So in their 20s, they're like, yeah, girl, I'm balling. I got this dude. He paying all the bills. He bought me red bottom shoes. He took me here. He took me there. Blase, blase, blah. And then as that peer group dies down and they get to be more around more adults that are doing adult things, they start to see their other female peers with love, with affection, with empathy. And then they're looking at home like, my man don't hold me when we at Max's ordering a cheesesteak. Um,
Ooh, okay. Yeah. That was funny.
but I'm saying,
EA all day.
but if you was at Max at B&E,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you
Yeah.
saw a man and woman in there, generally you don't see physical affection. They just stand there and the dude's like, "What do you want? What do you want? Just tell the man what you want. We ain't trying to be here all day, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just quiet. But when you do see the physical affection, you're like, "Oh, where the fuck is mine at?"
You about to be affectionate with that cheesesteak when it come out right.
So when LaJoya is talking about meeting the needs, sometimes women have to go out and say, well, okay, I got a financial dick here. I need an emotional support dick here, and I need a secret dick over there. And
Secret. A secret.
The STD dick, something to do.
exactly, because listen, the secret dick is the one that you call up. It's not free. It's not regular. It's every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? Because that person just come with too many other things that just drive you batty. Like you don't want him to do too much talking. You know,
Yep.
like he's
Yep.
like 2 chromosomes away from saying "ugga mugga" real loud and screaming fire. but he got one of these.
Oh,
You know what I
good
mean?
my
So
gosh.
every
Yes.
once in a while, you on your little Mary Jane, and you just want to swing through it, like,
You want
Oh
to
my
swing
gosh.
through for real? A swing through.
I mean, but he makes
That's a good point.
point
It is a
that
good
I've,
point.
I've talked to many people about this five was an arbitrary number, but this number of people that people need in their life to fulfill a whole, a whole, to become a whole.
Yeah.
And this is where the conversations come in about monogamy. Is monogamy a myth? Is it something somebody
I don't
made up?
believe in that.
Is it something we are
All right.
supposed to be doing?
I don't believe
Or
that.
is it really like, because I think about it like this. There are lots of animals in the animal kingdom who
Yes.
find their mate and mate for life.
Mm-hmm.
If it was meant for humans to be monogamous, wouldn't we find our mate and mate for life and feel
No.
fulfilled in that?
No.
I just don't believe in it altogether.
Okay.
Is Chad about to say something?
No,
Yeah, I was waiting like
Say
I
something,
just think you
Chad.
wake up.
Okay, it's your turn.
no,
Chad.
yeah.
Oh,
Hi, Chad.
Chad, you scared to jump into the
All
rope?
right, so my
No.
question is this idea of monogamy what often leads to people cheating because they feel like they can't be
The
who they
pressure.
really are?
yes.
Monogamy
like a lot
is
of
a
times,
lie.
yes.
We are
And
not
they-
designed to be monogamous.
I agree, spin cycle.
It's a social construct that has been programmed in our programming of mindset to believe that monogamy is the best way and the only way.
Yes.
right.
It comes with our religion.
It's a
It comes
social
with the
experiment.
laws that this. Did Chad talk?
He did. You cut him
Like,
off.
can you hear me?
We
We
can
can
now.
now.
All right. No, I would say monogamy is a social experiment. I've always looked at it like that because it's something that you're doing to see whether or not it fits your lifestyle. I don't want to say within the moment, but if it fits your lifestyle, like you said, if you with somebody, you like them, you want to stay committed to that person, you're going to do that. If
Mhm.
you like the idea of a person, but then you like the idea of another person and another person,
Mhm.
then I don't see like polygamy is then that's your best strong suit.
Gotcha.
Right. But then
So
it's like, getting everybody's mindset to be on that same accord. You
Exactly.
have to end up changing who your friends are because everybody not ready for that conversation.
And I
And you have to
guarantee it
change.
for
You
women,
have to
it's not going
change
to
who
go the
you're
same way.
with. A lot of times to have that conversation, you can't.
Yes.
You have to change the people that come into your life as partners because a lot of people can't handle that conversation. You know,
Because
they
egos
can't.
get involved
Yes.
and everything else, and it's not really about that. And I think if more people was open, the idea wouldn't be so far fetched. Like if more people were open and honest with themselves instead of trying to be something that they're not, being, listening to whoever else that controls their life, it would be much smoother. It would be much easier. And 9 times out of 10, if you be honest with people and like, look, I have this going on, I have that going on, so I can't be committed to you, whatever, however they choose to say it. I guarantee that person is not gonna be like, all right, well, I don't want to talk to you ever. Like, I'm good. Go the other way. They're gonna be like, oh shit, she's being honest with me. She's being real. I've never had out of my, how old am I? Look, I had to think about it.
just do 21.
Just say 21 and we be all right.
Yeah, so I've never had anyone say like, you know what, girl, I appreciate you. That was nice. Thank you for letting me know that I'm going the opposite way. Never. Never.
Never?
Never.
Hmm.
We
Never.
live in the
But
world,
Nobody can handle
especially because of why our work environments are. So after we graduate from high school and college, the next socialization that happens to us is work environment. And depending on what kind of work environment you are, depends on your inductive and deductive reasoning as well as your intellectual capacity. Gee, I didn't even tell a joke yet. LaJoya.
It's just the intellectual capacity is just okay. Yeah, that means
I think
AKA,
it's just nice
are
to
you
hear
retarded?
somebody use different
Yeah,
words and with a expanded vocabulary, but here nor there.
Okay, great. So, for example, you have a lot of marriages where the husband is in a manual labor job and the woman, she's in corporate America where she has to do complex thinking and management. Now, both jobs probably earn around about the same amount of money, but me and my blue collar job, I move one lever all day and I probably take 16 steps. And the most kind of calculation I have to do is, do I turn the machine off when something goes wrong, or do I report it to a manager and let the machine keep going? That's about as big as my cognitive ability gets in a blue collar job. Why are you shaking your head, Mary?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so women end up learning a whole new set of skills, especially in the work environment, in that kind of environment, to protect their job because there's always somebody messing with you on your job.
Okay.
So you have to have this
Slick
new
talker.
cloak and dagger kind of thing where you got to be secret agent on the job. You have to be a double spy. You got to come in and say, "Hey, how are you? Oh, great. Yeah, me and my kids, we went down to Grand Canyon. We had a really, really awesome time." Yeah. So you get my point.
Yeah.
With that, because we're at work 8 hours a day, we now come home and we now come around our social environments. And because we're socialized like that in our work environments, we start to use the representative or characters in our personal social environment. We don't want to be too honest. We don't want to be too real. I mean, we always claim like, yeah, I'm
Yes.
super real, but we really
Mm-hmm.
don't want to be all that real.
Yes.
And we really don't want to do all the truth telling because we learn on the job, if you tell the truth all the time, you either A, you can be out of a job, or B, it's going to be the most stressful job that you could ever have because there's always going to be somebody trying to take you out of your job.
Maybe.
With that, maybe, but 9 times out of 10. So
I
we're
think
going
we
to go
learn that in our relationships too.
We
Right.
do.
Exactly.
and that's what I'm saying. It transfers into a relationship. So
Yes.
I know plenty of women. I can read them. I can walk down the street and be like, oh, she's into X, Y, and Z, and then meet them and like, oh,
Really?
no, I'm not. I'm just a good old apostolic woman, you know.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
But
So DJ Spin Cycle, let me ask you a question.
yeah,
We started this conversation and you were saying that you've been with several married women. Do they tell you why they've come to you? Do they ever
Yeah.
say,
yeah,
you
they do.
know, okay, what are some of the common reasons that you hear?
The number one reason, they can be whoever they are with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
Um,
Okay.
Okay.
the second reason is intellect. My conversation is wide and varying,
Like
so
a
they
movie.
can have Hmm. Would you say LaJoya?
I said like a movie.
Okay. Um, they can have a conversation with me about anything, and then the rest of them are like, I could take you to my job's Christmas party and not worry about you saying the very wrong thing,
Mm.
acting up,
Mm,
that kind of thing. I could take you
Okay.
to the company mixer, and
Mhm.
like I have one woman. She's married. She will grab me every year to take me to her company's party. That's the only time I hear from her.
Wow.
oh,
Wow.
and he be
Yeah.
on there on the ones and twos, spinning and entertaining the room. Okay.
So
So
a question that has come up is who defines the social constructs that we follow? Like, where do they come
That's a good
from?
one.
Who defines it?
Your
Who gives it
parents,
meaning and life?
religion, parents,
religion and all
your
that.
religion,
That's a
That's the
big
biggest
and
one.
one.
I
Yeah.
think, and that's why I don't follow. I mean, if anybody's religious in here, I'm not judging. don't judge me. But that's why I don't follow any of them, because I cannot allow any anything to basically govern my life, because I have to live this life, and I don't need that. I don't need that type of judgment, especially. And then the parent thing, they're always going to tell you basically what they were told. Like what works for you in 1955 don't work for me in 2020. It just does not.
But it's a
It's
level
a
of
different batch of
enslavement
people out
too.
here now.
And it's a level of enslavement and mindset to keep
Right.
us in a certain positioning in society.
Yes. And I don't think we should be enslaved mentally, physically, and definitely not sexually. Like if people were more able to be sexually free, then I'm just, you know, like if they were able to be more free, then I think a lot of things would go more smoothly. You wouldn't have so much angriness. You wouldn't have so much bitter men and women, because men be bitter too. You wouldn't have so much of that. Like if we were just able to just live our life without judgment of, somebody like, oh girl, I seen her at so and so, and all like, and yeah, you saw me. Why you ain't say hi then? If you saw me, then like why you ain't come over to the table and say hello to both of us? Shit.
Right.
Yeah,
You
tell
can
my
always go
husband
to
I'm here and I'll be there in 2 hours. Now
Right.
you go back to wherever you came from. It's just like that judgment. Like, and I think that's what keeps people in, like, that's what keep people in the cycle of telling lies and feeling like they got to be hiding so much, and even from the church, because you don't want the church people to see you, because they definitely gonna
But
crucify
like, who
you.
were they? They're human as well. Like,
Exactly.
the church is a hospital. They're human. They're limiting what possibilities that they can enjoy out of life based on a social construct that is either relevant or irrelevant to how life
Yeah.
is in today's life. Because if we got missing books or chapters in the book that they want us to follow, those books probably told us to be freedom in our sexuality, or probably
Yeah.
told us to be free in our thought. And that's the reason why, they don't exist any longer. But
Right.
yet we govern every step of the way based on that.
Right.
if you look at the Songs of Solomon and read them without your religious pastor trying to give you the context, you can see that that's like a trap song right there, where he's talking about. I can't say nothing around y'all.
A trap song.
Yeah, I get it, because if you think about the Book of Solomon, he was like his right hand man. He was thinking about how to kill him so he'd get to his wife. And when he made sure he was dead, he married that man's wife.
And the way that he talked about that man's wife, the curves, the contour, the skin tone, you get in it, you be like,
Right.
It's like WAP.
Wow.
Look, who said that?
You know who said that, Jen?
Oh my gosh. Look, who was thinking that? Why were you thinking that?
But I mean, in the, so I'm looking at the comment that we speaking about cheating in the church, and that is heavy. Everywhere you go is cheating, but it's cheating only because you believe cheating is a reality. If you take away the rules that define how you understand cheating, then it's like you really cheat in a whole bunch of different ways. You cheat with time, you cheat with money, you do so many other things that lead to the cheating. But you have accepted this definition that's been downloaded into your thought process to say, I don't want my person to cheat on me, or I don't want my pastor to tell me the wrong thing, or I don't want my finances to be interrupted. Like we can go a whole bunch of ways with that.
most people cheat on their children
They do.
a few times a day. And
It's such
go
a
ahead,
societal
LaJoya.
norm that we
Wait,
don't even
Chad is
talk
talking.
about. What I'm saying was, it's such a societal norm that sometimes you often wonder, why do we get so upset when people get cheated on? Like, Cardi B just filed for divorce, right? So it's like you and your husband are in the spotlight, and I'm only using him as an example. because of what we see and what we believe some of the status quos are. Like
Mhm.
we keep talking about goals so much, and then you keep seeing the same instances happen all the time. Like we were just talking about religion, right? And how we
Mhm.
put religion at the forefront of how we deem how relationships should be. And yet you had
Mhm.
Pastor John Gray, who's been caught yet again cheating on his wife. Now
Again,
I'm not, yeah, and then I'm not trying to use these people as just, they're catalysts for some of the things that we see. Only
Mhm.
because there's so many people that do it. But
Jada.
yeah, and pop culture is the prime
Good for
example
her.
of how we truly look at relationships and what we
Mhm.
deem is acceptable when people are cheating. And I
Mhm.
think that's part of our problem in America. Like we look towards pop culture and figureheads to show us the way of how love should actually be.
yeah.
Like
Mhm.
monogamy is a state of mind when you think about it, because you
Mhm.
don't have to do it. There's no written rule in life that says you have to follow the path to just being with one person. You don't necessarily
Yeah, like
have
who
to.
made this
I
rule? Like
object,
who made
Chad.
this?
Chad,
Who
I'm
made
going
this
to
rule?
object on that. There is a
You
written
objecting?
rule. There is a written rule in all 50 states in U.S. territories, which says you can only marry one person.
We'll take marriage out of it. Take
Somebody
Yeah,
else.
because
marriage out
why
of
do
it,
we
then
have
now
to get married to allow? We asking the government to approve who it is that we love and care for.
Mhm.
but
Yep.
Polygamy
even
is
if you
not a
take
protected
marriage
class.
out of it and you're
I
just in a
want you to
regular
understand.
relationship.
I want you to understand from a legal standpoint, polygamy, polyamorous, polymorous is not a protected class. Being gay is a protected class. Being black is supposed to be a protected class.
Right.
We know
Mm.
that's not true.
But none
Right.
of the laws was written for us being melanated people in this country.
So when it comes to relationships, at the end of the day, most of the people who are not independent thinkers or not strong in their self identity are going to fall within the guidelines of the law. I
Mhm.
have to be monogamous because financially, if we're together, then this mortgage works out. The equity works out. Now, when people start petitioning the government to make polyamorous or any kind of poly relationship a protected class, then you'll see everybody break out. There'll be club nights. There'll be trap songs about it. You know.
Well, when you talk about a protected class, a lot of times whether you whatever partner you choose, that's why I know best friends who got married. Like, okay, first of all, they're not married, but they went to court and they are in a civil partnership.
Hmm.
So there's another way of doing it without being legally married. It's still legal, but a
Mhm.
civil partnership, you still get the same rights with medical benefits. You still get the same rights as like taxes and other things. They're not married. They're just
That's if your state allows that. Not every state allows that.
Well,
well.
why
I
do we
know
need the government to tell us who it is that we love and partner and want to share investments with or share children with or share just things? Like, why is the government needing to be a part of it? I mean, from birth they take away all of our rights when we get the birth certificate, so it's like then we have children and believe that the children are our biological children. When we sign a birth certificate, they become a ward of that state. They're not even our children until you go to the courts again to justify custody. So why is it that when we come to marriage and our connection to each other, that it has to be through the courts? Why does it have to be permission to love someone that you care about? And then you question if you cheating or not cheating.
And then you got to pay to get out of it.
Eh,
Pay a lot to get out of it.
yes.
Part.
It's because the way
And I
that
am a couples and relationship therapist, so don't.
I understand, Mary.
I am, and that's probably another social construct, but listen, I'm open.
Our world is held together by the covenants, laws, policies, and traditions at a macro level. At a micro level, they vary from state to state. And then even in the states, they vary from city to city. Like there's an extreme difference between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. There's an extreme difference between Boston and Springfield. A very, very extreme difference just between Manhattan Island and Long Island,
Yeah.
based on what kind of music you can get, what kind of grocery stores and food you can get. All of that plays a role because with these particular services, you get different people that come in and they influence our culture. They influence the way that we dance, the way that we talk. I say Jorn. When people around here look at me, Jorn, you mean born? You mean journey?
Right.
You come down to the 191 zip code, you like all in. Like that John
Exactly.
over here.
Right.
And it's very much understood. But at a macro level, the whole country is socialized that, especially in TV, movies, especially Disney movies. I think I might have made a point to this in one of our earlier conversations. Men and women are socialized into gender roles, especially through Disney movies, cartoons.
Disney movies. Yes.
Yeah, seriously.
It's
Disney
true
movies.
though.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, but it's true. Interesting.
They go through their own families too.
Yeah, in their own family. So especially if you don't have grandparents, like your grandparents went to college, right? And then your parents went to college. You being a third generation, your outlook and your mental ability to define who you are would be greater. But if you had two generations before you who did not get a diverse education beyond reading, writing, math, and arithmetic, I said math twice differently. I need some more juice.
Yeah.
New man.
Thank you. Your scope of defining who you are and being brave enough to do it is limited because you don't have enough factual knowledge about how things happen. It's just like how people talk about the coronavirus. You need to wear a mask and say anything. Just put anything over your face. I'm like, wait. The coronavirus is 0.3 microns big, and if you put a T-shirt over your face, the coronavirus can easily slide through them big holes on your T-shirt. Doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. You need that N95 mask because it doesn't allow particles that big to slide through. You know, that's me because I went to school and I got some logic and I understood the size of different things. So you really can't say too much to me without me being able to analyze it properly. I'm just not going to say, yep, that sounds about right, boss.
But you're right. Socialization and thought processes that's been handed down without free thinking leads to this.
Yes, leads to ignorance. You know, part of it is also our love for what I would call Southern culture, like don't sweep my feet, blah 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 blah, them kind of things, you know, or great grandparents. They would be my great grandparents. They'd be like, hey, don't cut the radio on. It's going to use the gas, so we gotta drive to Mississippi in silence.
Wow.
And be like, well, how does cutting the radio on use the gas?
I'm still on, you guys. I'm just. My mic is
We
just
see you.
muted.
We see
Okay.
you. So if you grow up in an environment that had these superstitions, which also, if you look at the etymology dictionary, translates into religion, the same word, they both have the same meaning, then you become that kind of person. You become that kind of person in your personal relationships. And then that's how we are perpetuating the ignorance of monotheism. Now, in this article that I had mentioned earlier, they talk about why monotheism doesn't work because we had two parents. Some of us had two sets of grandparents. So you grow up as an individual receiving love and specific attention from various different groups of people, from your father, from your mother, from your two sets of grandparents, and maybe if you got godparents. So I learned letter writing from one of my godparents because that was the kind of love that she decided to give me. So I'm good to pen pal people and put the wasabi paper on it and stickers and all that kind of jazz. What I'm saying with that is that to go from having 3 to 5 people love you respectively in at a micro level in different areas of who you are and your identity to go to just one person that's is ludicrous because one person is not going to appreciate every single facet of who you are. Some people don't appreciate me and my big words with slang.
So when you think about all of that, how do you have a conversation with someone that you want to be in a relationship with so that you don't have to cheat on them?
You start with needs. So it's an argument. And you want to be able to prove your argument. So you prove your argument by allowing them to prove their needs are valid. So once you're able to prove that their needs are valid, then you can say, well, my needs are valid too, and these are my needs.
And what
As opposed
happens when you're with someone who follows the path of forefathers?
Enslavement.
and
#enslavement.
all the things that's been handed down, that one person, that's it.
well, that person can have a happy landing because I'm with LaJoya. I'm doing LaJoya's little thing right here. Nah, you ain't it. I mean, yeah, you know you dig rise and sexy and everything, but nah, you too much of a hassle.
I mean, people scared to walk away.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've just never been scared to walk away. Like, I mean, you got time invested. Oh, I've been with him for 20 years. We're sitting on the same saggy couch. Nothing's changed. No, that's just how I think about it. Like, you done gave your good years away to somebody who just go to work and come home. Y'all don't spend those kind of time together. You just make dinner, y'all sit there in silence trying to eat. Like, what kind of intimacy do y'all have? Like, what kind of relationship?
That's when time becomes the social construct of cheating
Yeah.
that interrupts
Right.
your emotionality and connection to that person that you once cared about very deeply.
Oh, I've given him my all. What have you given yourself? Did you take a bath? Did you put on some lotion today? That's important.
And why are you asking him permission or her
Right.
permission for your self-sufficiency?
Right. Because I know people be like, I be like, oh, even my girlfriends, I be like, oh, you want to go get something to eat? Oh, I gotta wait to see if I can hop in the shower and I don't know. That's just.
Or that you have a business idea, and people sometimes who are entrepreneurs or just have like this new passion point that they have, it could be deemed as cheating because now you're spending more time, more attention to your business or to this new passion thing that you enjoy doing, and you've excluded me. Whereas usually it's like, okay, include your partner in whatever new thing you're going into and explain the value or how it's going to benefit both of us as a relationship, but I'm going to be happy. Not when you want to resign from a job, you got to go check in with your partner. Can I resign? Can I resign?
Right. And I think sometimes though, when you say you want to be involved, you need to really look at it. Do you really want to be involved? Like
Right.
sometimes it's not meant for you to be involved. Get your own hobby, have your own passion. Like
Right.
you have to be whole with yourself first. I don't know. Like if I'm not, you're not spending time with me, then I got a lot of hobbies. I got stuff that I would love to do. Like I've been waiting to do for years. For example, I'm back into planning. I did that when I was in my early 20s, but I'm back at it. Like it's something I enjoy doing. It's not I don't know. I just think you just have to.
What do you enjoy doing?
Canning.
Okay.
Or preserving. However you want to say it.
I know what that is. I got old people in my family.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's have to ask permission for everything. I don't know. That's
So
control.
besides this construct and people not truly believing in it and wanting to conform to it, what other kinds of things actually lead to cheating?
Some people just want to do some whole shit.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Thank you, Chad.
Like, yo, like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Like, yo, some
Yeah,
people just want to do some whole shit.
just cause.
Like, I see it. I see it, yo. I see it. Like, I know people who are like, when on the surface, yo, they think it's thieves. But yo, behind closed doors, yo, I'm gonna do some whole shit tonight. Yes. It's just so
Not do
automatic.
some whole shit tonight.
Yes. And it's just so automatic. And this is not the weed talking. It's
Yeah.
some of it, but it's not all of it. But
Okay.
it's really like you know how people say, oh, you know what, cheating is a choice. No, we know that. We know that. It's the decision and the choices and who you're cheating with. That I think the other thing about it is it's one thing that you get upset that somebody cheats, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
another thing to see who they cheated with.
Oh wow.
That's the part. That's the part that sends people over the edge
Mm-hmm.
because it's
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah.
it's like I'm not condoning that you cheat, but
Right.
like for men, it's like, all right, man, just make sure he's not that much better than me. Like if you're gonna do it, like I'm not condoning it, but please, like make sure he's not that much better.
But
So that way, if I saw him and I'm
okay.
like, oh, that's your little friend. Like I can say that, but don't be a guy who's like, I looked at you and
Emphasis
I'm like,
on the little.
Yeah, emphasis on the little. Oh, that's your
hey,
little
listen,
friend.
hey, look, that depends on how she's looking at it. Like that's how you got to see it. And it's like, and if you saw the dude, if he's that much more handsome than you are, I say handsome, fuck it. If he's that much more handsome than you, then it's like, yeah, now I'm mad at you because damn, like you not like then it's not all men, but some men look at things as that type of competition where it's just like
Okay.
you're that intimidated by it, where it's
Mm-hmm.
like all right, if my girl cheated on me with Morris Chestnut, yes, you're getting all of the side eyes because I'm like, I already know who he is. We're
Mhm.
both bald, but he's bald better. Like it's just certain things that you see, and it's just like, yo, man, like I don't condone cheating. I'm not for it, but I now understand that some people just really want to do some whole shit out here with no shame. And I think the society that we live in, it's not everything, and I don't want to blame everything on pop culture and any type of pop culture reference, but I think this with the images and imagery and everything that we're taking in, I think some people just like, yo, I am down for the challenge because it's right in front of me. Like
Mm.
if I don't accept this challenge right now, then what? And then am I really living? That's how some people look at it. Am I really living if I'm not out here? Like if I'm a man, right? If I'm that type of guy who has to be around multiple women, right? I gotta have like that's just my appetite. Like I just have to have women in an abundance, right? And there happens to just be this one lady that catches my eye. Now, okay, me and her together, that's fine. But that part of my lifestyle that I was living before she rolled up on me, one last score. I just gotta see if I can have it. Some people just want to do some whole shit. That's it. Like I gotta make it cut and dry. Like it's really not. Some things it's not as deep as we can make it. But that, in a nutshell, for some people, for what we're seeing now, for the people that's like the Cardi B's and hell, our Eric Benets, if we're gonna take it back, like yeah, I think some people just have that sexual appetite. Or if we're not even talking about sexually, I think some people are just really turned on by, like Spence Cycle was saying, some people just really turned on by intellect. If I can hold a conversation with you for longer than 5 minutes that does not pertain solely to you, yeah, I might be turned on. Might be.
Yes, intellect is very important. It's
Mhm.
very important.
Mhm.
That's sexual intimacy right there.
Yeah.
If you can have a
Or
good
Yeah, that
conversation,
makes sense.
if you're
Sexual
like,
intimacy is just as important, if not more.
Mhm. Yep.
I can tell you, I met this woman. She was a West Philly woman, and I met her at
Watch it now.
well, she was one of the good West Philly women. She
Okay, I
wasn't
was
like
gonna say West Philly is represented up in this joint.
Wait a minute.
I don't know if y'all remember when Brave New World was Impulse. So
Yep.
I met her when it was Impulse, and I didn't think nothing of her because she wasn't my physical preference. I mean, she was tall, she's beautiful, got the whole model look down, but she ain't had enough. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we just exchanged numbers, and I was just being social. And she sent me a joke from Office, and I looked at the joke, and she wrote the last word wrong. It's supposed to be X word, and she wrote Z word. So I played on it, wrote a whole new joke about it, right? And so from there, it just turned into letter writing, and somehow we wrote ourselves into a relationship. Yeah, first time. You know, usually people fuck themselves.
So
into
was
a
she
relationship.
married?
No, she wasn't married, but she did have a boyfriend at the time. She did have a boyfriend at the time. Um, and why I'm bringing this up is because she did have the boyfriend, and because I was able to mentally stimulate her, I now became the crush. I now became the interest. And then from there, it opened up empathy, it opened up love, it opened up physical affection. Because as she got to know me, it was like, oh yeah, I can touch him. I could be sexually free with him without stereotypes. We can do a few extra things besides the basics. And that's also could be another reason why women will go outside and say, you know, I want to cheat. And then what Chad was saying, like sometimes it's like, well, nah, you know, I get off on can I get this person? Or for women who can Kegel 128 times per minute, it's just like who else? Who else can I put this on and whip them up with it? Or for men who got one of these, you know, they got stripper dick.
Oh, okay.
They're like, you know,
But they can have one of those and not know how to do what it is that you need them to do. So it's not even always that. That's not always the carrot that's gonna say, "Oh well, let me go ahead because he rocking one." No, he might not know how to rock well with all of that.
I can't co-sign on that. I can't confirm, neither deny that. I'm just putting it out there that in some of the groups that I'm in, there are women, especially non-colored women, who are BBC and size queens. Those are the labels that they use: size queen and BBC.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we didn't get a chance to get to a couple things, but we did want to continue this conversation for next week. And when I say a couple things, what was like in my thought process is the shame, which we kind of touched on when we talked about the social constructs that kind of guide us into having these beliefs that cheating is real. But then also the guilt and the questioning of, you know, how are you in these situations and how does it manifest and impact your ability in your next relationship, or if you choose to stay like in that relationship, in that current relationship. So with that being the preface, I guess, for next week's conversation, what would be something that you're invited to come back again to continue this lovely panel, but what would be some of your closing thoughts that you would want to share to this conversation?
Chad.
While I haven't cheated, I guess I've always wondered, like, was it satisfying? Like even outside of a sexual nature. Like, was it satisfying? Like if that man or that woman you know, got you to the point where you stepped outside of your marriage, stepped outside of your relationship, out of that type of curiosity, were you satisfied with what you got out of it? And if you were satisfied, does that give you an incentive to go back and do it again? I always wanted that.
Okay. Okay.
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
Mine would be poly is a lifestyle, and just to educate more people on it, and um, just people actually like living a real life, like live this life out in the open that you are living secretly, but it's called cheating or promiscuity or hoeing or whatever for men and
Swing
for women.
through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like just everybody be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. Be more open and educate yourself, because what you're basically the actions that you're doing, it's a reason. It's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not always. It's not something bad. Like it's not anything negative. It's not that you're just like this person that's like you're. It's more people you out there basically, and no one is judging you. Like no one could live your life but you. So you got to figure out, you know, basically like which one you're willing to commit to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would piggyback off of Jen and say, you know, it's okay to be you. And if the person you're with is not down with what you're down with, maybe that's not the person you should be with. You know, and I
LaJoy is
don't say
waving
that
goodbye.
frivolously, because I know that, you know, relationships have all these very relationships have all these intricacies and different things and reasons why you're in them. But you know, I'm always talking to people about, you know, their own individual happiness and being able to be true to who you are. So is it better to be in a relationship where you can't be yourself, or be alone and be who you want to be?
Yeah, but how long does that?
How what?
But how
Yeah.
long does like being by yourself? Like how long? Like you could be by yourself, but at some point, like how long is that?
But when I'm saying by yourself, Chad, I'm not talking about alone and lonely.
With five
I'm
cats.
talking about being possibly single and doing whatever you want to do with people, with like-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
instead of being in a relationship where you feel confined and stifled and unfulfilled. That's what I'm talking about.
I got you. I got you.
Spin cycle.
Huh?
Huh? What happened was
Now he had a loss for words.
right.
Oh no, I was working on some words to actually flirt with LaJoya. I was trying to think, like, do I say, you know, tap that friend button, rub the friend button.
Oh,
Mm.
I
She
just
just
said,
said you had a compliment. She ain't say go that far.
I know. And so I was trying to judge my my comment or my request to connect based on her comment. And so I decided that I was going to say, if you want to see more of this good looking person, please send a friend request.
okay. So how I will respond. I'm all about. I am married, first of all, but I'm more about me, myself, and I, and the exploration of how I want to live my life moving forward. Like with
Gotcha.
business, even my circle, just on a different plane.
I know I was joking. I wasn't like
You
drop dead
wasn't.
serious.
You
Either
wasn't
way, it
joking.
doesn't matter. No, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this
So
is
like,
grown folks conversation.
Yeah,
So.
conversation. That's how I
yeah,
look at it.
exactly. My final thoughts would be more along the line of Chad, Carissa, Dr. Carissa, and Jen, with a slight twist. And the slight twist would be, is the shame greater than your satisfaction?
Mm.
If your satisfaction is more than the volume of shame, then you should be choosing your satisfaction.
Good way of putting it.
That go back to a question I asked a couple weeks ago when I said, "Is the risk worth the reward?" You know what I
It
mean?
does.
Like if you're doing it, like, are you getting the satisfaction out of it? Was it like for that moment? And if it was just for that moment, does that moment have to pass, or are we repeating these moments to make it serious moments? So, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean it's something.
So when you say if the moment should pass or not, I think some people have those moments and it's one time and it changes. It's life changing. It's not about being with somebody else or they find themselves in that one moment and they don't want to be with you nor the person they had the moment with. But it's about living, like Dr. Carissa said, being fulfilled in just your life. Period. In every what type of person are you forging to be on this path? Because you only got one life. So how does that look? What do you want from it? Who do you want in it? Who do you want a part of the process? So I think my ending thoughts would be more so, is it worth it? But if it turns out to be worth it, because I don't feel like it's all negative. It can be positive in some ways. If it's worth it, how do you make that brave decision if nobody else agrees to move forward? And how do you make that switch or that paradigm shift? Be like, for example, Jen talked about being like educating on being polyamorous. How do you make that shift in where it's healthy for you? So, because like we talked about cheating, monogamy, all that's a choice. But how do you switch to where you don't go off the rails? Like you do you be the person you were, but to really, if you're gonna do it, but to be really lead that lifestyle. If that's what your heart or your life is calling you to do. So the pathway of from one to the other.
Being poly is very, very difficult. I tried it twice. The second time was better. I can tell you it's not for people who worry about other opinions or very self-conscious about themselves. You do have to have a little bit more content in your dialogue. And once you understand what a polydynamic or a polycule is about, then you understand what your lane is. So because I had already had interactions with women who were married and they told me why I was there in their lives, it was easy for me to accept the reasons in a polycule. Because, oh, okay, this is familiar because this is how I fit in on the other side of the tracks. I do think that it's a very enriching life to live. I know this one woman who lives in Allentown, and I know. But she's a New York girl, so she's not really a Philly girl. She just happened to be in Allentown.
He just provided more identification.
Yeah.
More identifying information.
My mind's already, yeah.
Anywho, right? Anyway, you can be really, really fulfilled in a poly relationship, provided that you know what you're doing and you read up on it. And they have support groups for poly. There's a lot of information out there for poly. I think that at the end of the day, if you're a person who is cheating, which is the subject, then you should be really, really clear about why you're doing it. Don't lie.
Yeah, okay.
Be really, really clear. So if it's a reason, like Chad said, like you just want to slide up and down in or on something, depending on what your sex is, then like, yeah, just say that and be real about it. But also be committed to your relationship, because eventually if your partner finds out then you're going to have to do some talking, and you're going to have to say why you still love them, because people sort of define love as a fixed P to you staying with me.
Mhm.
And that's a false assumption, because we don't define love that in any other aspect of our relationship. So we have to really define why we are with people for whatever reasons they are, and what we're doing. Because if sex wasn't included, if sex wasn't the subject, then a lot of people would be cheating with me every day. Because
I'm sorry. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I guess he right, considering all the married women that come through that door over there.
not that, but the conversation, you have to
Right.
remember, we're first stimulated in the mind, especially the older you get.
Yeah.
So there will be a lot of people who would literally be cheating with me for hours, because if I see them at Walmart and we're rolling around the grocery store, well, look, Walmart's considered a date out here now, especially during the COVID.
No, I went to, I went to school down south. Yes, it is. Especially the Super Walmarts. Yeah.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad at that. I'm so mad at that.
I don't know why you are, because was it the Whole Foods down at 20th and Callow Hill used to have singles nights on Thursdays.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
You always got to think outside the box. I just know that Walmart is not going to be the location that I'm taking a date to. It's not.
No,
It's
you're
not.
not bringing a date there. You're just meeting somebody, and you just happen to date in Walmart. Look, they got drinks. Some of them got liquor.
Down
They have a
south.
Subway.
So I guess we can further this conversation too with, one question is it cheating if you and your partner are both doing it? Or if you're doing it together?
Nah, that's a partnership. Shit, y'all doing it together? Yeah, man, that's tag team wrestling shit.
I mean, it's dungeons available for doing it together.
I know.
Mhm.
And then for some people who like your Will and Jadis, minus the young boy she was with, you know what I mean? It becomes a team sport. That's a family activity.
I
Right.
want Jada's mom.
That's random as shit, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we're gonna pick up there next week.
And Jada's mom?
I don't know if we're gonna pick up at Jada's mom, but in regards to what's the word you use, Chad? Like that's a partnership. Like the ship is capitalized in the partner. Yeah. Like we're gonna pick up right there. The partnership.
Because what do you call it? If you're both doing it and you know about it and it's just a part of your marriage or
An agreement?
your partnership.
What they call
Right.
that open relationship.
But who
Right.
calls it an open relationship? The
A lot of
religious
people got
folk?
at Temptations.
No.
That's probably why Temptations is closed. Like I'm joking. It's anywhere. I mean, it exists anywhere. So it's like if it's a partnership, like where are we getting these definitions from? That's categorizing. Oh my God, somebody's getting beat up on my TV. They categorize how it is that you work through the agreement. That we go into the dungeon. We got this group text message.
Wait. Hold on. Excuse me. Going to the dungeon? What's that?
That's the language that is used in the lifestyles of like poly and where those situations occur.
Okay.
And believe it or not, there are rules
There are a
that
lot of
apply
rules.
to those relationships as well.
A lot of rules. A lot of rules.
Definitely.
So and it's like as your partnership, you have one set of rules, but then you have rules within how you engage in the different communities within the dungeons, within those places that permit the space to engage.
Mm.
Correct.
I think I've seen that at the Philly Music Hall.
You know what? Well, you might.
So, good people,
Yes.
the sip and chat has been great as usual.
Yes.
We have definitely had an open-minded conversation, which is great, and an exploration into who we are individually as we engage in and out of how relationships and the meanings and the things that we abide by. So again, I thank you. Again, I invite you, I think we invite you to come back next Friday at 8 o'clock for the sip and chat for a part 2 of this conversation of continuing to explore all the multiple ways in which we exist in relationships and how what people, quotes, think is bad can sometimes be good.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
All right. So thank you guys for
coming
tuning
on.
in. Oh, go ahead, Doc.
Now I was gonna say thank you guys for coming on, DJ Spin Cycle, Cam, Chad. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys really help make these conversations interesting and informative.
Right.
Very.
Right. Definitely do. So we definitely appreciate you joining. And the comments, we enjoy your comments and the text messages that roll through as well. So
Okay, somebody got to get the dough.
Doorbell tells all, right?
No, that wasn't me.
It was the single person over here.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Don't keep them waiting too
Oh,
long.
I just wanted to shout out
You know.
the people in the comment section. I want to shout out Jaja for hanging with us and participating in the comment thread.
Thank you. Yes. Yes, thanks.
All righty.
All
So
right, guys.
Bye.
Yes, yeah,
Good
talk to you
night,
soon.
everyone. Enjoy
Good
your
night.
weekend.
Absolutely.
Bye.